Good afternoon, MINC Leaguers. Good to finally catch up with you this week. Welcome to Commission's Corner, Week 5 in review. A lot of good games, a couple turd games. All in all, it's pretty good. Pretty good Week 5. We'll go through the winners and the losers and all that good stuff that we do on a week in and week out basis. There's some other news, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. So. First off, the winners this week were Get Fostered Up, RG03, Social Drinking Drunks, Contra Noobs, Mike Johnson is a Megatron, and Team Jarhead. All of those guys had people who scored at least 30 points. Get Foster's top player was James Jones. He had 36.7 points. RG03 had Phillip Rivers, which... is interesting that he picked Phillip Rivers up off of waivers, and he's now his starting quarterback, and he is sitting Tom Brady. So there you go. It's fantasy football. You never know what's going to happen. He had 32.4 points. Social Drinking Drunks, top scorer was Peyton Manning with 51.8. Contra Noobs, top player was Deshaun Jackson with 31.2. My Johnson is a Megatron had Julius Thomas scored 38.2, and Team Jarhead's top two players were on his bench, but his top player he still won. His score would have been pretty ridiculous if he would have had his two top scorers in, but his top scorer that he used was 35.1, Des Bryant. The losers, the transaction. Camel Toe Casserole, 50 Shades of Manning, Uncle Jew, Redneck Rampage, and Derby City Hood Gang all lost this week. 50 Shades is still still 1-4. I think he is the only 1-4 team, like the only one-win team. So good stuff there. Transaction, Dwayne Bowe seems like a recurring thing for me. That Dwayne Bowe scores me squat. He is pretty much worthless. So if anybody wants to trade for him, I'm willing to take like a backup running back for him. He only scored 7.5 points. Camel Toe had Larry Fitzgerald only score 7.3. 50 Shades had Steve Johnson score 3.9. Uncle Jew, I put Uncle Jews as Matt Stafford because he's had a pretty good year so far, and to only score 16 points and no touchdowns thrown, that's not too good for him. Redneck Rampage had Lamar Miller starting, and he only scored 1.5 points. And Derby City Hood Gang, I put another quarterback on here. Cam Newton scored 12.8 points. Again, decent year, nothing outstanding, but contributing to his loss. So there you go. Couple other things. The league MVP this week is Peyton Manning with 51.8 points. I made him the MVP because he had the most points on this winning team. Again, I don't know how many times he's been that, but maybe 3 out of the 5 so far. He's been the top one. Top performers. We did this last week. I'm going to do this on a week in and week out basis. The top QB was Tony Romo, which happened to be on Team Jarhead's bench. He scored 67.9 points. Top running back, which is a down week for running backs for whatever reason. Maybe it's because Adrian Peterson was on a bye week or something. I don't know, but 31.1 points was the top running back this week, and that was Pierre Thomas. The top wide receiver, again, on Team Jarhead's bench. T.Y. Hilton scored 45 points on the bench. Top tight end was Julius Thomas with 38.2 points. So lots of high scorers in the league this week. A lot of cool things going on. A lot of interesting stuff happening. I did a little research today just to kind of check out how it's all progressing and all that good stuff, and just wanted to give you an updated standings list as far as the combined records of the teams in the divisions. The East Division is 6-9 combined. The West is 7-8 combined. The North is 8-7. The West was 7-8. I may have said that wrong. The West is 7-8 combined, and the North is 8-7 combined. The South is the top team, the top division right now. They're 9-6. Three really solid teams in that league, in that division, and the North has three pretty solid solid teams as well. The top 5 points scored, total points scored for the year so far. The top teams in that are Team Jarhead, Social Drinking Drunks at number 2, Contra Noobs at number 3, The Transaction at number 4, and Uncle Jew at number 5. And there's a lot of close people in there. The top 3 are pretty far ahead of everybody else. Uncle Jew and Transaction. We are neck and neck as well, right around 720-ish points, maybe a little bit more. I think I'm 728, and he's like 721 or something like that. The other ones are above, almost above 800. So 2 of them are above 800. The other one is just below 800. So lots of good scoring from a lot of teams. There are some lower teams, but we're not going to deal with that. Interesting in my division, because I was looking at it, I am the highest scoring team in my division, and yet I still am in third place. Just the way the cookie crumbles. I've played, I guess, teams that are doing way better at outscoring me than that. But I feel pretty good. I'm scoring points, and that is a good thing. Only one really big trade to talk about this week, and that is the trade between Social Drinking Drunks and myself, The Transaction. I traded away Aaron Rodgers, Jordy Nelson, and Giovanni Bernard for Peyton Manning, Danny Woodhead, and Cecil Shorts. I think it's a pretty even trade. He gets a solid 1-2 punch with Aaron Rodgers and Jordy Nelson, and in Gio, he's a good possible keeper for next year. So those are good things. I kept Wes Welker, which was we went back and forth on this deal for about 3 days. I get to keep Wes Welker, so I have the 1-2 tandem of Peyton Manning to Wes Welker, so that's always good. And I pick up Cecil Shorts, who is leading the league with the most targets for a wide receiver. So I'm not going to complain about that. And then I got Danny Woodhead, who is a wide receiver, but he's in a running back's body. So I'm hoping that these things pay off for us. Who knows how it'll be. Somebody will get injured or something. But I get to keep one of my keepers for next year, which was Wes Welker. And I'm pretty excited about that. So no other real trades to speak of. I traded RGO3, just a tight end, but that was more of a favor than anything because all the tight ends are off the board. So that's good. Looking forward to a good week. Good luck to everybody. I hope that your team does well, except for the Contra Noobs. I hope all of you guys break their legs or at least get really hurt in practice so they don't play. Should be a good matchup. I think my predicted is like 189 and yours is like 166, but who knows what that's going to do. Should be a good matchup. Should be fun to see how this week pans out. Good luck. Tonight is I don't even know who's playing, but I know that there's an NFL game tonight, and good luck to everybody, and wish y'all all the best. Have a good weekend. See you guys next week. Commish out.